We think of a check as a paper document that represents a transaction. In this week's Sunday question, we look at a check from a different perspective. Hey everyone, I'm Denise Brown, and I write Sunday questions. I write them so that we have a daily intention that helps us really cope. Each Sunday, I craft a question which is something we keep in our head. And when we have a good question in our head, our mind then seeks to find a good answer. That's right, just for you. I'm recording this Sunday question for you on a Sunday morning that gives us our first snowfall in Chicago. So I'm watching the snow and its flakes slowly drift from the sky. Okay, more about check. So I think about check because I do something every morning that requires a check, and that is I check in with an app called Snug Safety. I live by myself, and it seemed like a good idea to have some kind of safety system in place, especially after Gene Hackman's death earlier this year. So every morning I check in, and if I don't check in, the app alerts my brother and sister. So thinking about check inspired me to consider all the different ways we can check. And that made me think of a good question. And so here's what I wrote for you this week for the Sunday question. This week's Sunday question is, who and what can I check? I like to check in with friends and family members on a regular basis. I have a friend who recently lost her job. I try to check in with her regularly. I have a friend navigating a health crisis. I have a reminder scheduled to check in with her every week. I have a niece and two siblings that I like to call regularly for check ins. I also think about checking out of situations. I can check out when a conversation takes a turn for the worse. I check out and stop reading what no longer informs me, but rather upsets me. I check out of spending habits and thought patterns that do more harm than good. I also can simply check. I can check myself before I say something I will regret. I can check to make sure I turned off what could be on before I leave the house. I also check that I have what I need before going out so I don't waste time returning. As I write this, I'm really becoming enamored with the idea of checking, whether it be to check in or check out or simply to check. The checking keeps us connected to what and who matters while distancing ourselves from what doesn't. We also prevent self-judgment and save time by taking a moment to check. To remind ourselves we can use a check to our advantage, we can ask ourselves this question to start our day. Who and what can I check? How will you check? Stop by our community, caringourway.com, and let us know. Thanks so much for listening. I'm Denise Brown.